Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast, Our New Narrative, and today is September 2nd, man, of 2020. 2020, man, we on the backside of this. It's almost over, y'all, but 2020 still kicking ass and taking names. But today I want to come to you today with just some thoughts on the fundamentals of our society. But before we get to that, please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely want to get more subscribers just so I can do real-time chat and things like that and answer some questions that I've been getting from time to time. I would love for other people to hear those questions so I can answer them in real time, or, other people who are in the chat can answer those questions as well. So I know I could, if I was a lot more attractive, a lot younger, had a better production value, I'd get more subscribers. Maybe even if I did some things with some kittens and cats, dogs, and stuff like that. I was thinking about getting a new dog, by the way, a new puppy, and more updates on that later. But anyway, I was thinking about going to Candace Owen route, and she caught my attention years ago on Facebook, I think. And I was like, man, love what she's saying. And what she was saying was really kind of what I'm saying. At least her perspective was similar in that you don't have to vote for a particular party. You should pay attention to policy, because what has happened in the past when the African-American community or people who considered themselves liberal, they just wrote a blank check to the Democratic Party, and nothing really good came out of that. So eventually she got more traction, got a little bit more popular, and now it seems like she's attached herself, or the Republican Party has attached themselves to her, or she's attached herself to them, with vice versa. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I know she's not going to attach herself to the Democratic Party, and neither am I. But I think as Americans, especially in the election cycle, we tend to focus, I think, too much on the party and not the policies that are being mentioned. And a lot of these policies have fundamental roots. Obviously, everything has a fundamental root, but the policies of the Democratic Party are not new, and the policies of the Republican Party / the Trump Party are not new. So I want to talk about where these policies come from, because the policies, at least the ideologies, are a lot older than the parties that are representing them. So, for example, the new iteration of the Democratic Party was founded with President Andrew Jackson in 1832, and Lincoln with the Republicans right before the Civil War. So although the parties are old, they're not as old as the ideology that they represent and the country they are in. So let's go back to the founding fathers. Let's talk about them briefly and the ideas that they had. So we often hear this was an experiment, and if you're like me in school, I was just like, whatever, it's an experiment, okay. But it was an experiment. I mean, if that is the actual point, this was literally an experiment. And the experiment was this. A bunch of people we call the founding fathers had this crazy idea that given the right circumstances, people could govern themselves. That was unheard of. Nobody in the history of mankind came up with this idea that, hey, we're going to create a country without a king, without a chief, without a master, basically, right? What was the norm at the time was basically slavery, right? You had feudalism, serfdom, and slavery. And slavery is old as written language. It's the oldest institution out there. I mean, right after Adam and Eve and prostitution, boom, slavery. So it's nothing new about slavery. It's nothing special about slavery. Racial slavery is nothing special. It just adds to white Christian slaves, right? That you don't learn about in school. You know, Chinese enslaved people, North Koreans enslaved Japanese people in our lifetime, right? So slavery as an institution is nothing new. I ain't saying it's great, but it's nothing new, right? Well, on the left, back in the 1800s, around the Civil War time, that era, when you have pro-slavery people talking about slavery, they attached it to socialism. And one of the most prominent pro-slavery advocates, Mr. Fitzhugh, who wrote several books, condemning the free market society, free society, saying that it was crazy, y'all, this experiment has failed, it's evil, liberty is evil. Like, it's a read. But basically he said, and I have to agree, socialism is just slavery without the whip. And he also said socialism is the science of slavery. So, and here's where he's coming from. Throughout mankind, you had a slave and a master, and whenever the slave was productive, he got fed, he got clothes, he got housed, and so did his family. When the slave wasn't productive, he got fed, he got clothed, and he got housed. When he was an infant, he got fed, he got clothed, and he got housed. When he was too old to work, he got fed, he got clothed, he got housed. When he was sick, you get the point, right? Now, there's a lot of security in that system. Not a lot of freedom, but ultimate security, right? Now, you take this new idea the founding fathers came up with, right? And they were like, you on your own. We believe in you. We believe that you can take your skills and go hire yourself out to somebody and work, save your money for a rainy day. We don't need masters to do that for us. We could do it ourselves. So you obtain some skills, you hire yourself out, you get paid, you clothe yourself, you feed yourself, right? When you're sick, you call a doctor for yourself, you pay him, right? In order for that system to work, several things must be in place. You must save money for that rainy day, right? And your money has to be stable. It don't have to be solid, like immovable, but it can't be like our currency is today. And that, I ain't gonna get into that subject. But anyway, you need to have a currency that doesn't bottom out or get inflated out of existence. And you need to have this mentality of saving for that rainy day, because that rainy day will come and there's no master to take care of you, right? So what's my point here? The current Democratic Party is all about security. They're about the government taking care of you from the cradle to the grave, and that has its good points. It also has its bad points. It takes away your freedom, right? And it takes away money from people who are being productive, right? So it's basically theft, right? So that's the good and bad of that side. Now, the good and bad of the capitalist, you know, individual freedom, individual responsibility side of the equation is that you're free to do whatever you want. You're free to go out there and starve in the streets, right? Or you're free to decide which skills you want to learn how to, you know, master, go hire yourself out for somebody, to somebody, get paid, save some money for that rainy day, take care of you and your family, and there's very little need for any type of master to tell you what to do or say, you know, anything. There's no need for one. So basically, the Democratic Party exchanged the master for the government, right? That's all that is. I'm boiling down to the simplest form. That's all it is, right? On the other side, the Republican Party wants you to be your own master, right? And there's good and bad sides to both. Now, a lot of people say we should meet in the middle, have a capitalist society with socialists, with a social safety net. Okay, that could be fine too. But my goal is to let you know what the fundamentals are. As an individual with the power to vote, you need to know what you're voting for. the policies you're voting for, how they will affect you as an individual. We are not voting for a cheerleading contest or, you know, American Idol. Our vote has implications down the line. And you can't think of the current news cycle, right? Because these things have, you know, ramifications. What you vote for today will have ramifications for you and the ones you love tomorrow. And the reason I say that is because the reason I'm on this particular soapbox is because a lot of the information you're getting in the media will sway you to think toward a certain, they'll have you thinking that a certain political party, voting for a certain political party is in your best interest when oftentimes it's not. And I'll give you an example of this right here. So we got a media blackout, according to the Beltway pundit, and I must agree, and you will too, because you know you probably haven't seen this anywhere except on YouTube or Minds.com or BitChute. You can find me there as well. So a media blackout, white lives don't matter, in quotes. Black man randomly attacks white man with a brick in Baltimore. Here's a video, I've seen it, and it's true. This guy's just walking down the street. Another guy runs up behind him, bam! Hits him with a peaceful brick. So a video was uploaded to photo sharing app Instagram Monday showing a black man in Baltimore randomly attacking a white man with a brick. Like I just said, a white man is seen walking across the crosswalk when a black man sneaks up behind him and hits him in the head with a brick, knocking the man to the ground. The person taking the video was laughing as the man dropped to the ground, right? The man who uploaded the video, Trey Savage, captioned it, "White lives don't matter," and bragged the attack was attempted murder. Look, man, an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind, right? First of all, this guy, no one wants the innocent bystander to get hit, just like no one wants an innocent black man. I just noticed they don't say an innocent unarmed black man. They always say an unarmed black man. But anyway, two wrongs don't make a right, whatever. But the media is skewing things so far to the left, so far down this victimization pathway, right, that it's going to end in a dangerous place. It has to. It just I don't see it ending peacefully. So what's the ultimate outcome? People like me, right, make up 12% of this country, and we live mainly in urban centers, right? We need to love everybody. Just numerically, self-preservation would tell you. We need to love everybody, right? We have to obey the law. The law has to be, you know, just and fair, but we can't have people attacking random people in the streets because they're black or because they're white. And we definitely can't have the news suppressing information like this only to elevate misleading information. I think you guys get the point. So with that said, I'm gonna leave it there. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments below, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay safe out there. Leave your peaceful bricks at home when you're out protesting. Thank you. Peace, y'all.